Servus, Freunde. My name is Jimmy Cage and...
Come on, Jimmy, let's play some football.
I don't know. I've got work to do. I need more followers.
Hey. You need more followers. It's all about you. Live a little. Let's play.
All right.
Coming!
Servus, Freunde. My name is Jimmy Cage.
And I'm Dennis, the Bodymeister.
And today's movie was once again picked directly for us by one of our awesome Masala Meister tier supporters. Divya Partas chose the 2014 Tamil language movie Madras. If you want to pick a movie for us to review, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/thejimmycage or by becoming a member right here on YouTube.
Madras is a political action drama that was written and directed by Paranjit. It stars Karti, Catherine Treza and Kalayarasan in the leading roles. It was director Ranjit's second movie. He directed his first one, Atakati, when he was only 29, and he was 31 when he did Madras. So what we have here is quite a young and talented guy.
Definitely. To this date we have only watched Madras, but reading a little bit about Ranjit and his movies, it becomes clear that he has a deep relationship and emotional attachment to the city of Chennai, which was called Madras until 1996. Not only was he himself born there, but the stories of his first three movies are all set somewhere in or around Chennai.
In Madras we're situated in the north of Chennai, in the district of Vyasarpari to be exact. The story revolves around Kali, his friend Anbe, his love interest Kalayarasi, and a whole lot of other people whose life is dominated by a wall that's used for propaganda and is the reason for a brutal political rivalry. Two factions lay claim to it and want to paint the portraits of their political leader on it.
It's a back and forth between a whole lot of characters. The most important ones are introduced in the beginning, but unfortunately their names were only displayed in Tamil, and we didn't get any subtitles for that part, so it took us some time to bring everything and everybody in order.
You're introduced to this world, introduced to Madras, you get sucked in, and this is one of the absolute strengths of this movie. You can feel the city, this region, you get a good grip on the geography of this place and the whole area. Many localities become a pivotal point in the story. There's the soccer field, the different flats and apartments, the street that leads to the crucial wall of course.
And a place where everybody gets the water. The surroundings, the environment, you can really breathe everything in. And this is of course thanks to the great cinematography by Murali G and the direction by Paranjit, who, as we said, probably knows this place by heart.
But we not only get a good feel for the place, we also get a good feel for the characters. Maybe not all of them because there are so many, but Kala, Kalayarasi and Anbe are definitely characters that you're taking into your heart.
Absolutely. The lead characters are fleshed out rather well, especially Kala, by giving us the chance to be part of his normal social life, you know. Going to work, playing football, talking and drinking with friends, we start to like him and we are on his side and the side of his friends.
And Madras is no out-and-out political action drama, it's a love story too, and it's also fun at times. And this blend, which by the way works really well, makes it even more easy for us to get involved with these characters and with the story.
Talking about the fun, another highlight of Madras is Kala's wooing of Kalayarasi, which actually happens twice, because he kind of loses her temporarily. How he approaches her, how the whole situation starts with his friends shouting out that he loves her, it's so much fun. And Karti, who we only saw in Kaiti so far, does a great job in being this guy with a hard shell and a soft core.
Yeah, all the actors are great, but let's talk about the wall now. The wall is kind of this entity that hovers over everything. Not only in a literal sense, because it's of course huge and looks down on everybody and everybody has to look up to it, but also in a more mythic sense. People seem to believe that bad things happen when you challenge the wall or in some way mess with it.
That's already established in the exposition at the beginning, where we learn about different accidents that happen in connection with this wall.
It's towering over everything, seemingly observing and monitoring everything that happens. But it's of course also totally absurd that this wall has so much symbolic power, so much meaning, which fits to what you said. It's also an excuse for violence in the attempt to somehow seize power.
And when there's power, there's almost certainly also corruption. And Madras succeeds in giving us a political story that's comprehensible, intense and simply entertaining. Like we said, it's a blend of drama, comedy and action, and each part works really well.
It has beautiful and memorable songs too, like the love song Agayam Tibirita or the pounding and rhythmic title song Madras. And some of the song and dance sequences are integrated in a fantastic way by really pushing the story forward like in Kakida Kapal.
Yes, Madras really has a lot going for it. The music by Santosh Narayanan is great in general, with one little nitpick that I'll get into in a minute.
Ooh, exciting!
The more action-heavy scenes are awesome too. The hand-to-hand fights are choreographed well, they are vigorous and raw, and the whole escape scenario when Kala and Anbe run away from the other gang in the middle of the night is fucking great.
I really wish that the whole second half of the movie would have just been the two of them hiding in the streets, running from hideout to hideout, beating up some guys and somehow making their way out of this, because this whole sequence is so great.
It is. Now back to my nitpick regarding the music. There's one sequence in this movie that blatantly uses Hans Zimmer's Time from Inception, or at least a music piece that's very similar. And after looking it up later, I'm not the only one who thought so.
Yeah, it's so strange, I don't get it. Why would you do that? It's annoying, just compose something yourself. And not to be disrespectful to Hans Zimmer, but this time theme isn't like the most complex composition ever. Even he himself used it over and over again. I think he even used the melodic structure before Inception.
I don't know about that, but in the case of Madras, it really distracted me, which is even more annoying because the scene where it was used is great.
It happens.
Anyway, another thing I wanted to mention that wasn't a problem or anything, more like a missed chance, is the movie's finale. It's a great fight, but I thought it's a pity that it takes place in this empty hall that we have no connection with whatsoever. I would have preferred a fight in the streets that we now know, or maybe a fight right in front of the wall, although that probably would have been a bit too much on the nose, and we also already got that super intense and cathartic moment at the wall before the actual finale began. And that scene was easily my favorite and probably the one that will stick with me forever.
I agree, but this last anonymous fight takes place in completely exchangeable surroundings. Maybe they had to cut some budget or just weren't able to shoot somewhere else at that point of the production, who knows. But the fight is great.
Yes, and the finale itself is also fine, though I was just a tiny little bit disappointed that the movie leaned more into this rather familiar action genre territory towards the end.
Yeah, I can see that, but nonetheless, it's a great movie. So what would we say in German about Madras?
Madras ist ein echt guter Film, der nicht nur wegen der tollen Charaktere und einer gelungenen Mischung aus witzigen Momenten und harter Action begeistert, sondern vor allem wegen seinem Lokalkolorit, der uns direkt in den Norden Chennais entführt. I give Madras 8 out of 10. It's more like 7.6, but I don't do that.
For me, it's also 8 out of 10. It's more like 8.1, but I don't do that either. Did you know that the football club of Chennai, the Chennaiyin FC, which was founded in 2014 as part of the foundation of the Indian Super League, already became champion 2 times?
I'm actually more a Kerala Blasters guy.
What?
We are the famous Kerala Blasters! No, what are your thoughts about Madras? Leave a comment and hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd and also on Patreon simply at The Jimmy Cage.
And you can hit me up on Twitter at The Buddymeister.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all we have to tell.